Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to start with the first award. I hope you enjoyed your starters, and whilst you're cleansing your palates, we're going to introduce you to three really inspirational women who are up for the Business Award. First of all, would you please give a nice round of applause from Bradbury's Cheese, director Michelle Jackson Hanstock. Welcome, lovely to see you. You got the short straw, didn't you? First up, you did. Never mind. Cheese, how did you get into the world of cheese?
Well, I've always been in procurement, and I've bought everything from meat to advertising, engineering, all those boring things, and then eventually somebody introduced me to cheese, and I'll never be out of it. Fantastic job.
Now, you're the only female director, aren't you? Is the world of cheese in general, is it represented well by women?
Not really, no, actually. There's a lot of cheesemakers that are male. It's quite a male-dominated industry. But, you know, if you work with a team that you trust, it doesn't matter what gender they are, does it really? It's the social life that's challenging.
What do you feel that you've been able to achieve in your job?
I travel all over the world. I spend other people's money. I eat cheese, and I pair it with wine. What's not to love?
Everyone is now going to give you their CV at the end of the evening. You do realise that? Travel, cheese, and you get to be sociable. What more could you want? In terms of the company, obviously profits are important. What do you feel that you've brought to the company in that respect?
Well, obviously I'm a procurement director, so money is important, but I actually select the cheese as well, along with one of my colleagues. So it's important for us one of our straplines is inspired by cheese, and we've made big retailers like Waitrose and also airlines like Emirates famous for cheese. So I think we've brought an awful lot.
And how much do you rely on the cheese, on the product name? How much of it is down to you?
We have our own brands, as well as we actually partner with other suppliers. So we have gold suppliers who work exclusive for us, so we manage their brands as well. So it is important, to have good names on cheese, as well as the pricing and the quality and everything else. And cheese is very much about provenance and story. So we look for that.
And in terms of your job, do you feel it's down to you to inspire future generations of women to come through?
Absolutely. I need somebody else on the board to support me. Any offers?
For reference, I like a nice Lancashire crumbly.
For reference, that's extremely boring.
Okay. I think that's 15 love, isn't it? Okay, I shall take my Lancashire crumbly and I shall leave you. Michelle Jackson Hanstock, thank you very much. Boring. Okay, right, I've got the measure of the afternoon already. Fortunately, I love Vimto. That's handy. Would you please welcome our next nominee, Marnie Millard, who is the Group Chief Executive at Nichols Drinks. I was reading, isn't it funny? I mean, I've drank Vimto my whole life, being a good Mancunian, because of course a Manchester product. There's some extraordinary statistics and facts, aren't there, about Vimto and how many countries you go to, for instance?
Yeah, well, we're available in 85 countries. Last week I was in India. That was our latest one to open, which is a very, very exciting territory. But our core markets are really the Middle East, where we're synonymous with Ramadan. We sell 35 million bottles of double-strength cordial during Ramadan. And we're right in it now, so we're just about to start. And then our other biggest market is East Africa and West Africa, which is a very, very different place to be compared to the Middle East. So I think the great thing about Vimto is, yes, the secret recipe remains. That's still the same as it was in 1908. But each country we go in, we adapt the recipe to the local needs. And I think that's sort of the secret of the success of the brand overseas, really.
Are you privy to that secret recipe?
Absolutely not. There's only 5. I don't want to know. I might get kidnapped. No, there's only 5 people. John Nichols is my chairman. He's the grandson of the founder. John's 2 sons, Matthew and James, work with me. And then our group technical manager and technical manager. And each quarter, they blend the secret recipe, and then that's shipped in a concentrate to our overseas partners to bottles. So, yeah, I don't want to know, and I don't know, honestly.
The other statistic is, I mean, Nichols worth £110 million. When you hear figures like that bandied about, how does it make it feel that you're responsible for that?
Yeah, it's tremendous pride. I think it was really interesting when Nichols approached me to do this role, because I've been in the industry 22 years and I knew John and the business very well. And when they said they wanted to look at a replacement for Brendan, who'd done a fantastic job, I was really rather nervous about the difference I could make to the business. But they brought me in to be creative. Product development is one of my passions. Brendan was a financier, nothing wrong with accountants, but the next stage of the growth needed to be organic, product and consumer led, so that's why I was brought in. But an interesting element for me is the city, so I have to spend a lot of time in front of our investment community. I've never done it before I did this role. But actually, whilst I was very nervous to start off with, the fact remains you know your business inside out, and that you see them twice a year for an hour. And I wouldn't say we tell them anything, because that would be completely inappropriate and you'd be caught out. But ultimately, the key to being successful and being proud of that business is you understand your industry, your customers and your brand. So
And is it a bit of a tough time at the moment for the soft drink industry? There's been a lot of bad publicity, hasn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. And I was at an industry conference yesterday. I sit on the British Soft Drinks Association on the management board. Everybody will be aware of the sugar levy that is being proposed for 2018. I think, without getting too controversial about it, obesity is a very complex issue. As an industry, we know we have a part to play in that, and in terms of the calories we've been taking out of Vimto, we've been on this path for the last 4 years, and the actual balance between no added sugar and original is changing month by month. And when I first joined in squash, 70% of our sales were in original and 30% in no added sugar. We will hit 50-50 this year, and we will go on from that, because we're not sat here, we don't want to contribute to kids and the challenges that society has around that. But yeah, we're getting a lot of challenges from the media at the moment. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. But do you think Lancashire cheese is boring?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, going. Thank you very much to Marnie Millard. Don't worry, I'll find somebody before the end of the day that loves a bit of Lancashire. Let me introduce you to our next nominee this afternoon. Catherine Nicholson is the Managing Director of Mindful Housing, Fortunatus Housing Solutions. Good to see you today. Just explain how this works.
We're a northwest-based not-profit organisation. We're based in Warrington. I used to work at St Helens Council for 25 years, and I worked on the funding side of housing for people with mental health problems, and realised there was a massive gap of very little housing for people with mental health problems out in the community. So about 5 years ago, with a little bit of a Hello Kitty notebook around my dining table, and after a bit of inspiration, meeting a very dark, enigmatic man on a train with a bottle of wine, to be honest with you, who gave me the inspiration to walk away from what I did at the time, I set up Fortunatus Housing Solutions, and we house people in the community and give them a home for life. And we treat them like a member of our family. We house currently 150 people around the Warrington, Wigan and St Helens area.
And just explain to us, what does that mean to those individuals when they are housed?
Often people come to us and they refer to us for housing as the last resort, really. Quite often people have been through mental health services as children. They've not had family support from a very young age, even in childhood. And once they come to adulthood, they bounce in and out of really bad choices in their lives. And nobody will house them, to be honest with you, or if they do house them, they soon get evicted because of bad behaviour. What we've chose to do is to say to people, whatever they do, we will never give up on them and we'll always continue to house them, and that's what we do.
And you started small, but now you've got 25 people working with you. Is it as much your job to inspire them?
I try to, yes, and there's often a glass of wine involved in that as well, actually, unfortunately. Yes, I try to. We try and run the business in a way that like a family, really. We don't even have an upper limit on the amount of holidays we give people. We just sell to say, you've got 30 days holiday. If you want more, just let me know. It works very well. We get a lot of dedication from the people who work for us. We work 365 days of the year, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So you need commitment from people. I think we're one big happy family. I've got some people who work with me here today. One of them's my husband, poor him. He's an accountant as well. Poor him again. And one, Sarah, is our business development manager, who worked with me in local government as well. And I think we try and have that. It's a difficult industry to be in. So we try and make it as nice as we can to work there, if you know what I mean. So that's what we do.
And just going forward, you've got an app, haven't you, which means that you're always in touch with these people once they've left you.
Yes, we developed an app last year with Capita Software Services, which I realise now how lucky we were that they did it for us for practically nothing, because of a previous relationship I'd had with them in local government. And the app enables our tenants, not everybody can pick up a phone and ring what they see as officialdom or ring an office, so they can contact us in a different way 24 hours a day. Their family members can, if they've got family support, or their partners. It also has on the app lots of local information about sports and weather and the cinema and all sorts of different things, and what's on and what we do. We're doing a big cycle event in September this year with the charity Mind across the Northwest to raise money for people with mental health problems living in the community. That will be on the app and also on the website as well.
Okay, good to see you today. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much to all three of our nominees.